Good morning, everyone. In a world that often demands instant reactions, a quick retort, or a defensive stance, it might seem counterintuitive to talk about the power of the pause. We're wired for speed, for immediate gratification, and for delivering that perfect, witty comeback. But what if I told you that the most potent response often isn't a spoken word at all, but a moment of profound silence? This is the essence of the first calm comeback, the power of the pause. This isn't about being slow, it's about being deliberate. It's not about hesitation, it's about intention. This is a foundational principle drawn directly from the millennia-old wisdom of the Shaolin tradition, a wisdom that teaches us that true strength lies not in aggression, but in control, control of self, control of emotion, and ultimately control of the situation. Think about the last time you felt attacked, criticized, or misunderstood. What was your immediate instinct? For most of us, it's a surge of adrenaline, a tightening in the chest, and a rush of words to the tip of our tongue. We want to defend, explain, or retaliate. This is the impulsive, reactive mind taking over. It's a natural human response, a primal survival mechanism. But while this instinct might protect us from a physical threat in interpersonal communication, it often leads to escalation, misunderstanding, and regret. The words we utter in that split second of reactivity can inflict wounds that are difficult to heal, and they rarely achieve the respect we crave. The Shaolin practitioner, whether in combat or in discourse, understands the critical importance of a microsecond, a breath, before action. In a physical confrontation, an impulsive move can leave you vulnerable. In a verbal one, an impulsive word can do the same. The pause is your opportunity to disrupt that automatic reactive chain. It's a moment to take a breath, to feel the rising emotion, anger, frustration, hurt, but not to be consumed by it. It's an opportunity to create a space between the stimulus and your response. This pause communicates a profound level of self-control. When someone expects an immediate, emotional reaction and instead receives a moment of stillness, it disarms them. It forces them to reconsider their own aggression or intent. It communicates, without a single word, that you are not easily rattled, that you are not under their emotional control. This calm, unhurried demeanor projects confidence, authority, and inner strength, qualities that naturally command respect. So how do we cultivate this pause? It starts with awareness. Notice that rising emotion, feel the impulse to speak, and in that very moment, consciously take a slow, deep breath. You can even silently count to 3 or 5. This isn't about ignoring the other person. It's about honoring yourself first. It's about choosing your response, rather than being chosen by it. The power of the pause is a silent declaration. I am in control of myself. I will respond with intention, not impulse. This single habit, cultivated consistently, will not only make them respect you silently, but it will also give you a profound sense of inner mastery in every interaction. Many of us listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. As someone speaks, our minds are already formulating our counter-argument, our defense, or our witty retort. We're not truly absorbing their message. We're simply waiting for a break in the conversation to unleash our own. This creates a disconnect, a wall between individuals, and ensures that misunderstandings persist. When someone feels unheard, they often escalate their tone or repeat themselves, leading to frustration on both sides. Active listening, by contrast, requires your full presence. It means setting aside your own agenda, your preconceptions, and your desire to be right. It means giving the other person the undivided gift of your attention. This isn't passive hearing, it's an active process of seeking to understand their perspective, their underlying emotions, and the true meaning behind their words. It involves listening not just to what they say, but how they say it, their tone, their body language, the unspoken messages. From a Shaolin perspective, True listening is akin to scouting the battlefield. You wouldn't rush into a fight without first observing your opponent, understanding their stance, and assessing their strengths and weaknesses. Similarly, in a conversation, you gain immense advantage by truly understanding the other person's position before engaging. This deep understanding allows you to tailor your response, not to merely refute them, but to address their core concern, to de-escalate, or to find common ground. When you practice active listening, you don't interrupt. You allow them to fully express themselves. You might nod, maintain eye contact, and offer subtle cues that you are engaged. You might even paraphrase what they've said to confirm your understanding. So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're frustrated because this simple act of reflection shows them you've heard them, that their words have landed, and that you value their perspective. What happens when you truly listen? First, you gain valuable information. You might discover that their anger isn't directed at you, but at a situation. You might learn of a misunderstanding that can be easily clarified. Second, and perhaps most importantly, you disarm them. When someone feels genuinely heard, their defensiveness often melts away. Their need to prove a point diminishes. The very act of listening validates them, and this validation often paves the way for a more constructive dialogue. This calm comeback silently communicates, I value your perspective. I am willing to understand before I judge. It demonstrates emotional maturity, empathy, and a quiet confidence that doesn't need to dominate the conversation. By mastering the art of active listening, you not only avoid impulsive, regrettable comebacks, but you also create a bridge of understanding, earning respect not through force of words, but through the profound power of genuine connection. Imagine a towering tree standing firm in a hurricane. Its branches might sway, its leaves might rustle, but its roots remain deep and unyielding. It doesn't fight the wind, it bends, it absorbs, and it remains. This is the metaphor for responding with unshakable calm. When confronted with verbal aggression, the average person becomes agitated. Their heart rate rises, their voice may tremble or sharpen. The Shaolin principle teaches us to remain centered, to keep our internal state unaffected by the external storm. This isn't about being passive or allowing yourself to be a doormat. On the contrary, it requires immense inner strength and discipline. It means consciously choosing not to be drawn into the other person's emotional state. When they project anger, frustration, or disrespect, you do not absorb it. You act like a still pond. The ripples of their aggression may touch your surface, but they do not disturb your depths. Practically, this involves maintaining a steady, even tone of voice. Avoid raising your voice, even if theirs is escalating. Maintain composed body language. Avoid crossing your arms defensively or fidgeting nervously. Keep your facial expression neutral or one of compassionate understanding rather than mirroring their anger or contempt. Your eyes can convey quiet strength and attentiveness. This external composure is a direct reflection of your internal state. When you respond to aggression with tranquility, several powerful things happen. First, you disrupt their pattern. They expect a fight, a reaction, an argument. When they don't get it, their aggression has no fuel to ignite. It's like trying to light a fire with wet wood, it simply won't catch. Second, you force them to confront their own behavior. Your calm demeanor acts as a mirror, reflecting their agitation back at them, often leading them to self-correct or even feel embarrassed. Third, and most importantly, you assert your authority, not through dominance, but through self-possession. You are demonstrating that your emotional state is not dependent on their behavior. You are essentially saying, without words, your anger does not control me. Your disrespect does not diminish me. This is a profound declaration of personal power. The Shaolin path is about mastering oneself, not others. This applies as much to emotional reactions as it does to physical movements. By cultivating an unshakable calm in the face of adversity, you embody a quiet strength that commands respect far more effectively than any shouted word or retaliatory remark. It transforms you from a potential victim of circumstance into a master of your own internal landscape, earning you reverence not just from others, but from yourself. This is the ultimate demonstration of inner power. In our hyper-argumentative culture, there's a prevailing notion that every challenge must be met, every criticism addressed, and every slight rectified. We feel compelled to engage in every debate, to defend our every position, even when the engagement itself drains our energy and rarely leads to a positive outcome. But what if the most powerful comeback isn't a response at all, but the deliberate choice not to engage? This is the fourth calm comeback, the art of non-engagement, a profound principle of discernment and energy conservation drawn directly from Shaolin wisdom. It's about choosing your battles wisely, recognizing that not every perceived attack warrants your precious time and attention. Think of a skilled martial artist. They don't engage in every stray punch or kick thrown their way. They conserve their energy, observe their opponent, and only engage when it's strategically necessary or when a genuine threat emerges. Similarly, in verbal sparring, much of the aggression we face is not a genuine threat, but rather a projection, a cry for attention, or simply someone's bad day. Engaging with every trivial slight or provocative comment is like getting into a wrestling match with every mosquito. It's exhausting and ineffective. The Shaolin path emphasizes efficiency of movement, of thought, of energy. Every action should have a purpose. Non-engagement is a highly purposeful action. It's a conscious decision to withdraw your energy from a situation that serves no constructive purpose. This isn't about being passive or running away. It's about discerning what truly deserves your attention and what doesn't. It's about recognizing that some arguments are simply not worth winning, especially if winning means sacrificing your peace of mind or dignity. How do you practice non-engagement? It can manifest in several ways. Sometimes it means a simple, brief acknowledgement without further elaboration. I hear your perspective, or thank you for sharing that. It might mean a gentle change of subject, or most powerfully, it might mean complete silence, a calm, measured gaze that communicates, without words, that you will not be drawn into their drama. This requires a strong internal locus of control, a deep conviction that your peace is more valuable than winning a meaningless argument. When you refuse to engage, you strip the aggressor of their power. Their attempt to provoke or derail you is met with an impenetrable barrier of calm. There's no reaction for them to feed off of. This can be incredibly disarming. They might try harder initially, but without your engagement, their energy dissipates and they are left with their own frustrated projections. This art of non-engagement also protects your own energy. Every argument, every defensive explanation, every attempt to justify yourself saps your vital life force. By choosing not to engage, you conserve that energy for things that truly matter, your goals, your relationships, your well-being. It communicates self-respect. My peace is non-negotiable. My energy is too valuable to waste on unproductive conflict. Ultimately, this calm comeback silently declares, I am not available for this conflict. I choose where to invest my energy. It demonstrates maturity, wisdom, and a quiet strength that understands true power lies in discernment and self-preservation, not in constant confrontation. By mastering the art of non-engagement, you not only earn respect, but you also reclaim your peace and direct your life force towards what truly contributes to your well-being and purpose. We've explored the power of the pause, the art of listening, the unshakable calm, and the wisdom of non-engagement. Each of these calm comebacks, rooted in Shaolin philosophy, builds upon a foundational principle that true respect begins with self-respect, and from that self-respect flows the final, perhaps most crucial, calm comeback, the unspoken boundary. This isn't about explicitly stating you can't talk to me that way, though there are times for that. It's about a subtle internal fortitude that communicates your boundaries without a single confrontational word, thereby compelling others to respect them. Consider a Shaolin master. Their presence alone commands respect. It's not because they are overtly aggressive or boastful. It's because their entire being radiates discipline, integrity, and an inherent understanding of their own worth and limits. They don't need to shout their boundaries. They embody them. This embodiment of self-respect is the most powerful unspoken boundary you can set. How do we cultivate this unspoken boundary? It begins with a deep, unwavering self-awareness of your own values, your non-negotiables, and your emotional limits. What kind of treatment are you willing to accept? And what crosses a line? This is not about being rigid or inflexible, but about having a clear internal compass. When you are clear on your own boundaries, your energy shifts, you carry yourself differently. Your posture, your eye contact, even the subtle nuances of your silence communicate your inner resolve. When someone attempts to cross a boundary, whether through disrespect, dismissiveness, or a passive-aggressive remark, your calm comeback isn't a verbal fight. It's an internal shift that subtly but powerfully signals this is not acceptable. This might manifest as a quiet, firm gaze that doesn't waver. It could be a simple, deliberate turning away if the interaction is truly unproductive. It could be a brief, composed statement that shifts the conversation back to a respectful tone without engaging in the disrespect itself. For example, instead of defending, you might calmly state, "I'm not comfortable discussing this in this manner," or "let's focus on the solution." The power here is that you are not reacting to their behavior, you are responding from your own established sense of self-worth. You are not trying to control them, you are controlling your interaction with them. This subtle yet profound shift communicates that you are not a doormat, that you respect yourself enough to protect your inner peace and integrity. The Shaolin way is about cultivating inner strength that permeates outward. An unspoken boundary is a manifestation of that strength. It's the quiet roar of self-respect that needs no words. By consciously cultivating your own internal boundaries and embodying them in your demeanor, you compel others to honor them. This practice ensures that you are treated with the dignity you deserve, creating a powerful ripple effect that not only earns silent respect but also elevates the quality of all your interactions. This is the ultimate testament to self-mastery.